I haven't had a family segment in quite a long time. I think I might retire the segment and just if anything pops up, just mention it in the video without putting it in the title. Because today, Granny told me to brush my hair because it was a mess. Because I can't lie still in bed. I'm always tossing and turning and everything, and my hair just looks. Well, it always looks terrible, but you know what I mean. Told me to brush it this morning. I said, there is. No, sorry. Okay, she did tell me to brush it, and I did. She said, when are you getting a haircut? I'm not getting a haircut. Why not? Because I'm going bald. But that's not the point, Dylan. You need a haircut for it to be tidy. Well, it's gonna be tidy when I inevitably go bald, which will probably be in a couple of weeks, knowing my luck. But Dylan, you're missing the point. I'm not missing the point. Get the haircut, make it tidy. But put it this way, God is giving me a haircut, and I don't even need to pray for it. Anyway, this school on Thursday the 13th of October 2022. I didn't do anything really in Moving Image. I just read the script for the pilot. Sorry, I dropped my speaker there. Read the script for the pilot of Arrow, and then I started to read the script for Nightcrawler, but I only got a couple of pages into it. Sorry, I moved the arm of the chair there. Taxi came early, so I got back to school early, like somewhere between 22 past and 27 past. Decided to go to the library because there was, I don't think I mentioned this, like I know I mentioned about the Black History Month BS that I had to do yesterday, but something I don't think I mentioned was that she said, okay, so see you tomorrow then. Like I said, no, you won't see me tomorrow because I can't do tomorrow because she said for period 5. I know I said that I could do period 5, but I was mistaken because at the time I didn't know that I couldn't do it. The reason I can't do it is because I go to the other school and that lasts until period 4. But the taxi has been late every single day without fail. By the way, when I said the taxi was early, I mean early as of when it's supposed. Early as of when it is coming, because they're booking it for 15 past when it's supposed to be here 12 sharp. But anyway. So anyway. It's getting here late every single day without fail. And by the time I get here, I wouldn't even be able to get to the library before the bell went for lunch. So I went in today. It's like, why are you so late though? I was in the taxi. So what, you can't do this period? Yes. But you told me yesterday you could. I said, no, you said period 5 first day. I said, no, I couldn't. Like, okay, what period can you do then? Period 5 tomorrow? No, I can't do period 5 tomorrow. Despite the fact that she said that she could do period 5 on Fridays, but whatever. So it's now period 8 on Thursday. It's period 4 Monday, period 4 Wednesday, period 8 Thursday. Let me say it again. Period 4 Monday, period 4 Wednesday, period 8 Wednesday. Period 4 Monday, period 4 Wednesday, period 8 Thursday. I swear, I'm getting worse and worse. She did seem quite pissed. But at lunch, I went to my mentor and asked her two things. One, about yesterday, when the English teacher said that despair is a sin, when I'm in the middle of the despair war, like, oh, but what the mentor said was that it's causing despair that is a sin. It's not feeling despair, which the Bible is quite old-fashioned, so they didn't really consider context back in those days. Plus, I mean, despair is a tricky thing, because if there's someone that wants to cause it, like it's their goal, and you prevent them from doing that, they feel despair. Junko Enoshima, whole goal, despair. But then you defeat her, and she feels despair. So, I still feel screwed. Same thing I asked her was about the library, and she said, no, maybe she isn't angry. You just go there, period 8, and tell me tomorrow what it's like. And, okay, before I got there, before period 8, I should have just said period 7. In period 7, my assistant went up to me, gave me a new timetable. So, it has made 2 changes. Instead of it hasn't put on moving image, because of course it hasn't, but instead, period 5 on Tuesday is my career, despite the fact that I can't do period 5 Tuesday, and I know that, because I keep on having to tell them. And the other change is period 5, 5, Friday, is also now careers. So, it's just going to be looking at, I've been told by my assistant to look at Cirque, because she forced me, like, last week or 2 weeks ago, right after that UCAS meeting I had with the female head of year. Right after that, that's with the assistant, and she told me to look at stuff on Cirque. Because I don't have any homework due or anything. Anyway. So that's what she wants me to do in the career class. Although, am I going to have the opportunity to do that in the careers class? I bet you not. It's just going to be, go on the Prospects website and do the useless survey where they give you jobs that are the exact opposite of what you want. Anyway, period 8, I went to the library. She had this big cart of books and numbers printed on the side. My tongue's clicking despite the fact that I haven't had a drink since like 4 or 5. It's just after, it's 20 past 7. Maybe it's the fact I haven't had a drink is causing my tongue to click, but I guarantee having a drink is going to cause my tongue to click. So I'm not going to have a drink. Anyway, big cart of books with numbers on the side. She told me to put the things in order, and it was a lot of hard work. So, what was that? Okay, like the first book, and try and put it at top left where it goes. But I couldn't, because that shelf had no space. And it's not like 5 rows, but it's not one column each. So it's not one column. It's probably about 5, I think. So row 1, column 1 had no space, so I needed to take a book from the last book in row 1, column 1, and put it in row 2, column 1, despite the fact that it would make more sense to me to put it on row 1, column 2, but whatever. I might be getting my rows and columns mixed up, but whatever. But row 2, column 1 has no space, so I need to put n bigger than that in column 3 and just so on. That was annoying. Yeah, that's it for it. That's it. Middle and give up review. Crash Bandicoot and Insane Trilogy. Crash 2 is good. Nowhere near as hard as the first one, thank God, but it's still hard. I did end up using an exploit to get 99 lives quickly, which made it was still pretty hard, but it did make it a hell of a lot easier because checkpoints actually meant something. But I didn't give up from Crash 2. I beat Crash 2. It's Crash 3 is where the give up is, because I'm stuck on a racing level and I can't get past it. Anyway, Atlantis, universally negative ratings, created by Howard Overman and two other people that I don't recognise. BBC original series of Walt and iPlayer. Multiple people who have starred in the show Merlin, which sucks. Anya Taylor-Joy. I'm gonna look that up. Guess that's Gemma Arterton's sister. I kind of see a resemblance there. Okay, it's good. I'm gonna look this up. Most of it didn't mention it. I didn't like Merlin. I don't doubt it's Sonic, considering he actually had a name there, Cassandra I think it was, but it's weird to me. So the last... Oh, right. That's a bit weird. So, part 1 of The Queen Must Die is an hour and 26 minutes, but part 2 is only 40 minutes. Nah, they're 40 minutes each. But I guess iPlayer must kind of combine them, but despite the fact that I'm pretty sure season 1 is also a 2-parter, but iPlayer had them separately. Whatever. So, should have allowed this in 2015, then what was it, Split? Yeah, in 2016. Glass in 2019. Emma in 2020, New Mutants in 2020, Queen's Gambit 2020, and Last Night Solo 2021. Oh, and she starts in Peaky Blinders in 2019, Orphan in 2020, Peaky Blinders 2022. Amsterdam on the menu. Anyway, this Twitter as of 7 p.m. Our patients are dead inside the cryogenic. I'm not doubting it. Inside the cryogenic freezing facility with 199 humans on ice. One of those 199 humans is Walt Disney, who's just waiting for the day that the Jews die off. Prick doesn't look the prick. So yeah, it's human hibernation stuff. I'm not eating the bugs. Piss off. Last week's executive just commented that the company didn't even test corona vaccine to see if it prevented transmission of the virus. Babies, pandemic. I have no idea who this person is. What do you mean I blocked them? Anyway. Pandemic-associated social isolation may have impacted the social communication skills in babies born during lockdown compared with a historical cohort should improve with re-emergence and social interaction. And some people are still wearing masks. You're partly responsible for this. I've actually seen 2 people wearing masks today, and it's actually gotten to the point where I actually... I was like, oh my God, What the hell are you doing? Anyway. Leftist bios be like, mental illness, mental illness, mental illness, mental illness, more bloody mental illness. Whereas other people's just like a description of who this person is. Or for me, it's just like, hello, I am a celebrity number. I agree with the current thing. PayPal is now banning the accounts of people who dissent against the CCP. Well, that's great. Truth about the vaccine's coming out at last. Nearly 10 million views on this video. This is the worst screenshot I've ever seen in my entire life. Anti-gay activist and friend J.K. Rowling person is being investigated by British authorities for her alleged accounts on kiwi farms. Husband was furious, videoed the whole account there when read my rights and told that what I said could be used in evidence against me. I replied that women don't have a dick. Imagine being taken into custody for interrogation by police, being read your right to remain silent, and deciding to make a transphobic comment and then bragging about it on Twitter. This is truly deranged. I have no idea who this person is. Why are you saying I blocked them? I'm not easily shook by internet stuff, but I found this. Both Gabrielle's posts and the quote retweets and responses quite disturbing. They are openly celebrating the arrest of someone they believe to have posted transphobic content online. 2 points. 1. Stop being shocked when mainstream liberals express their desire to see their political adversaries not only censored by a union of state and corporate power, but also imprisoned. The crux of American liberalism is authoritarianism, so I fact this was in Britain, but your point still stands. I'm not going to read the second point. Just that's 1 billion, right? I can't even whistle. 1 billion award in damages against Alex Jones after a Kafkaesque show trial. If this doesn't get overturned on appeal, there's no hope left for the so-called justice system. Alex Jones killed no one. He apologized for his erroneous reports, of which there weren't many. Nevertheless, in a trial where, I know, it was like, well, how long ago was Sandy Hook? Like 2013, I think. That's 9 years ago. And he said then, was it like a government cover-up or something? I think that's what he said. He's being brought to trial now and he has to pay that many. But the kid that did Sandy Hook, if he were alive, would he have to pay? How much would he have to pay? Nothing. Yeah, he'd be put on the death sentence, most likely. I don't know. He's as far as I know, he was a minor, because I'm pretty sure Sandy Hook was an elementary, primary school. But the harshest punishment you can get, and the taxpayer has to pay for this prick, which means that technically he's getting money. For killing people, Alex has to pay a lot for the stuff he said 9 years ago that he took back. And while what he said was horrible, do you see where I'm going with this? Nevertheless, in trial where he wasn't allowed to defend himself on free speech ground, he's now being ordered to pay hundreds of millions of dollars. Alex Ghost has returned. Alex Jones ordered to pay nearly $1 billion in second Sandy Hook defamation trial. For comparison, Union Carbide only had to pay half of this amount for causing an environmental disaster that killed over 15,000 people. Drake says Alex Jones must pay $965 million in second Sandy Hook defamation trial, largest fine paid by a banking executive responsible for the 2008 financial crisis was $67.5 million. Now it says this is tweet from an account you blocked. J.K. Rowling. Whatever. Big breaking. Alex Jones and InfoWars parent company. I didn't even know they had a parent company. by 14 family members of 8 Sandy Hook Elementary School victims, plus an FBI agent who responded to the scene of the 2012 massacre 10 years ago. Doesn't make much of a difference, but you still get my point. She called 20 first graders and 6 educators, a collective total of 965 million. Still not enough. There's literally nothing he could do that could make right what he put those families free, but I hope this breaks him. Joanne, Jesus Christ. I mean, like, are you trying to get yourself uncancelled? It's not going to work. Remember, conservatives, that these people will happily destroy you after you defend them from the very sorts of people they created. They aren't and never will be your friends or allies. How much money can we get awarded for suing every media figure who said the vaccine would stop transmission? If Alex Jones owes $1 billion for saying mean things on a show, how much should the propagandists at CNN, MSNBC, Washington Post, and the New York Times pay to all the Americans they pressured to inject their kids, saying it would prevent transmission to grandma? Please watch this. Jennifer and Paul, your life will be better for it. Why did they do this? I haven't seen the video yet because I was busy with Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, which is gone now. I got up to season 3, episode... A good part into season 3. Like, I think the last episode I watched was... It was called something Jeff. Because every episode, up to that point, had Josh's name in it, and then it was someone else's name, then it was Jeff. Reminder, not a single person who lied to get America into Iraq paid a cent for the deception. Lying only costs you $1 billion when you're the enemy of the people responsible for debacles like Iraq. Love the idea of Corona vaccine passport. Oh, by the way, 12/46/14/02/2021. Vaccine passports are everywhere. Flights, restaurants, clubs, football, gyms, shops, etc. It's Corona denying anti-vaxxer loonies had their BS bluff called and barred themselves from going anywhere the responsible citizens go. Piers Morgan was one of the most vocal people that stoke fear about vaccine passports and mandates for ratings. Now his ratings on Talk TV are abysmal. I'll never forget or forgive him. A few months ago, Pentagon murdered an innocent family in a drone strike. They lied about it. Every major media outlet amplified the propaganda. It was then revealed to be a huge lie coordinated between the Pentagon and regular media. No one who hates Alex Jones even cared. I say again, it's going to be like the Iraq War in 5 years' time. You won't be able to find a single politician or commentator willing to admit they supported the extreme and inhuman restrictions imposed by Western governments during lockdown. Just watch. Didn't even click on this. Earlier today, I learned that Kanye West was officially kicked out of JP Morgan Chase Bank. I was told there was no official reason given, but they sent this letter as well to confirm that he was until late November to find another place for the easy empire of the bank. Everything that's wrong with modern policing in one photo. The police force has become a picnic service for the mollycoddled. Anyway, I'm sorry. Now I have the hiccups. Ugh. It's a hard by the way. PayPal is reportedly offering account holders $15 to prevent them closing their accounts after the platform shamefully threatened to steal their money if they express the wrong opinion. $15? Really? Offer anything over 1,500, and you know why I'm saying anything over 1,500, even if it's at 1 cent more. American woman at the airport masked up, droning on about Corona, complaining about non-mask wearers. Is literally obese. Yeah, you're worried about the wrong health issue, love. New released emails have revealed that the head of the DHS was alerted that the Border Patrol agents had not whipped any migrants attempting they failed capture, but he went on TV immediately after and suggested that the false narrative was the case. New video, they want you drugged, they want you fat, they want you sick, they want you lonely.
3 News is learning that the 2 fishermen accused of putting weights inside fish in order to win a tournament have now...
What do you mean accused? They literally did it.
...been indicted.
This is a big story, not just locally.
I'm talking video evidence.
But it's drawn quite the audience nationally, as people were just riveted by that video where you rarely see this in real time. They're caught red-handed, and there's nothing they can do. The pair are now facing criminal charges this afternoon. Neil Fisher's been following the story. He joins us now with more details on the exact charges. Neil, good afternoon to you. What are they facing?
Good afternoon. It's a crazy story, like you mentioned.
It is.
The Cuyahoga County prosecutor announced earlier today that Jacob Runyon and Chase Kaminsky, the two fishermen, have been indicted on 3 felony charges and a misdemeanor charge here in Cleveland. This comes nearly 2 weeks after the fishing tournament on Lake Erie, where the two men allegedly placed weights and fish fillets inside the fish that they caught in an effort to win the competition. Cuyahoga County Prosecutor Michael O'Malley released a statement today saying, in part, quote, "I take all crime very seriously, and I believe what these two individuals attempted to do was not only dishonorable, but also criminal." Just yesterday, the boat and trailer the two fishermen used were seized by authorities. The charges Kaminsky and Runyon face are each punishable up to 12 months in prison.
Wow.
Very serious allegations against these two fishermen.
Now, do we know exactly why the boat and the trailer were seized?
Because that was part of the criminal act.
Interesting.
Yes, because in a former competition, the two men won the boat and trailer.
Oh. Yeah.
And I guess the boat is worth like $150,000.
Yeah, these boats could go for big money.
If Runyon and Kaminsky would have won this tournament on Lake Erie September 30th, they would have won $28,000.
Remember the guys who got caught shooting at the fishing tournament? They got charged with felonies. Student thoughts comment about the back rooms. Oh no, do you know where we are? We're stuck in the Redditors creepypasta. What? Good morning, fellow alphas. Oh, I love it. I can't wait for one of the Marxist tweets. 33rd degree alpha bro. Tuning in for hourly bro tips, stuck by Catholics, but loved by women. The this tweet's going to attract the wrong people, but I know it, but is any mums on here try the Alvi breast pumps, and do you recommend you're about to learn a very harsh lesson in the internet? For comparison, wait, I've heard read this out. Adjusted for inflation, that's still hell. But she says no, you're letting her talk too much. Bro tip. Unquote, sweet news, awful, nonsensical. Unquote, there's also super pro-Israel and has always been so I won't really sleep. Oh god, we know what Ben thinks of anti-Semitism coming from people he's labeled as allies. If she's a heavy sleeper, she's a keeper. Bro tip. Yo bros, I think that was a hysterical hit by a spit by Hassan. So were me and hide stuff. So, because he's like Hassan and he's one Hassan, then I'll be cancelled. Him making a satire video where he's like, I'm a man, and I will not sleep with Lady Gaga if she is a penis, or something like that. I don't remember. But Marcus, Hassan, oh no, he shouldn't be arrested or even just cancelled or even just hated by anyone. He didn't do anything. It was just a joke. But for Marcus, he's a Nazi, and Sam Hyde, he's a Nazi from Ukraine, and this is the only Nazi we don't like. Sorry, the only Nazi from Ukraine we don't like. You don't need a condom, just a fake name, bro tip. I'm gonna play this again.
Oh hey, didn't see you there. I'm Hassan Piker, and this is Bro Tip. This week's Bro Tip is about bringing out the alpha male in you. A few things to consider when you're thinking about Lady Gaga as the top contender for Babe of the Week should be the fact that she might have a penis. The fact that Lady Gaga might have a small penis does absolutely terrify me. Here's why the 5-second rule works. Because when you start thinking for longer than 5 seconds, you're immediately not thinking with your dick and also thinking with this pesky thing up here that we like to call our brains. So once you start thinking with your brain, you're immediately going to psych yourself out. Come back again next week when we discuss the legendary question of all time. Old enough to count, old enough to mount? Question mark? I want to say thank you to Miley Cyrus for showing off her camel toe at the VMAs the other night. I always knew Hannah Montana was a little slut. Don't even try to hide it. Look, this is a classic example of what happens when your father doesn't pay attention to you. You turn out to be a slut who's craving for attention, and then I tend to pick you up at a bar late night and bang you out on the first date.
Hassan Packer had a blog where he called himself the Professor. Talks about being an alpha male and porn before he put on the leftist persona of the stream on Twitch. Andrew Tate is such a misogynist, while calling women sluts who crave attention. Ha! For God's sake. Come on. Even if it's satire, Hassan is still a massive hypocrite because he's gotten pissed off at people like Sam Hyde for doing this kind of satire. Other than saying out loud, man, yeah, I hate those videos in which I didn't make them 8 years ago. I don't know what else people want from that. People equate this to Hyde, but Hyde does it now, not just in 2014. He's still a satire Bernie bro. Hyde and Mark made cringe level humor in 2014 too. Problem is they never stopped making it. Well, Marcus wasn't around in 2014. His first video was in 2015 or 2016. 2. Have you seen any of Marcus's videos other than Mate Your Nazi's a Pug? Your Pug's a Nazi, I mean. Well, you probably haven't seen that either, because the point is, Mark doesn't make those videos anymore. He makes Mad Lads. Like, you want to call them cringe? Fine. But it's not like a bro thing. I wasn't around in 2014. Miss Andre is mad. Building an anti-sexist world demands building a model of positive egalitarian masculinity. Miss Andre is a tiny but real problem. It shifts people fighting sexism fighting men. Tearing down men doesn't tear down toxic masculinity or builds up an alternative, it just hurts men. Miss Andre is not a tiny problem. It's actually a massive issue within patriarchy and builds the foundation of male disposability and the male gender role. Men being seen as tools of society rather than humans ends onto themselves is a massive component of reactionary politics. Laughs now. Take down MRA's men's right movement is reactionary, explicitly anti-feminist movement with deep ties to white supremacy that only hurts men's issues. Him. Kinda weird this guy wants to pretend that he has any concern for MRA's hurting men's issues when he also replies to anyone talking about men's issues from a progressive direction with claims that men's issues don't exist and don't matter. This is your first experience with him? God, no, we are mortal enemies. Just the first time I cared to look at his dumbass bio. Oh, he is a hoot. Good morning, fellow alphas. Tonight at 8 PM UK time, the Roasted Mark, well, at least it being made public. Good morning, Professor. What wisdom do you have today? Tell them you work for immigration. Pro tip. Professor, my wife is leaving me. What do I do? We have cocks and doors have locks. Is he rape? Don't forget. He's LARPing as the son. You want to call Marcus a rapist? You have to call Hassan a rapist. Professor, my girlfriend wants me to spend less time in the gym. How can I turn her down? Every time she starts talking, go to the gym. There's a cute girl in my class at uni. How do I approach her? Fast, at full speed, sprint towards her, scream. My girlfriend wants me to try a vegetarian diet to reduce her carbon footprint. What should I do? Buy an F-150, F1, I don't know, and use it to drive away from her. This person is gay. What should he do? Rejoice. You don't have to deal with women. Less than 1 hour. Bro with a flow here. Got any face of the lesbians in the convo? Professor loves lesbians as long as they film it. She isn't crying, that's just... A scary Irishman keeps trying to fight me, but I'm too scared about getting my ass beat. What should I do? Are you saying this from the perspective of a sauna? You must escape quickly, get in the porch and start the ignition. It'll be fine.